So here we go then for the Junior TKM Oblate race. Alex Forward and Shay Pearce on the front row with Cameron Fisher and Matthew Graham, Addison Chilcott and Dino Lee on row 3. Keep an eye on the hard-charging Kyle Hornby. He starts P14 on row 7 alongside Suzanne Gutsold. Away we go into the first turn, and Forward has the jump straight away. Fisher has put himself into second position ahead of Shay Pearce. Addison Chilcott right there in fourth position as everybody makes their way very ruggedly through the first couple of corners, but no contact, which is good to see. Everybody just trying to put themselves in a good position. Forward slings the kart out wide, but has no problems getting through the first hairpin in good shape. A little bit of jostling at the back, but everybody just about through cleanly. So Forward holds the advantage. Fisher still there in second in the 21, and it looks like it's going to be a cracker right from the word go here. Brilliant racing in the early stages.
56, Jack Griffiths it was at the back of the field, ran a little bit wide, but no damage done as they come through Wilkins for the first time. Alex Ford, who's leading the British Championship, looking to take this one down. 21 in behind is Cameron Fisher.
Shay Pearce is not far behind either, and Addison Chilcott holding on to fourth position in the 86 in the early stages as everybody through cleanly. And no massive gains on the first lap from Forward. Here comes Pearce on the inside. Has he made the move on Cameron Fisher? We just cut away at the wrong time. It looks to me as though he has done. Yes, Cameron Fisher, here he goes, on the move to second. This is a look back at how he did it as Fisher gets back past Shay Pearce through the highlights of the race here. Pearce dropping back to second. Fisher losing third place there to Chilcott, who makes his way through in the 86. And he lost a lot of time there because he lost 5 places through the Stratford hairpin, dropping back in behind the number 5 of Dino Lee as they come out of Bruno Ferrari chicane. It was very close indeed. Then Addison Chilcott in the 86 decides, I've had enough of being in third place. And he makes his move into second position at turn 1. Further back, a lot of jostling, and Suzanne Gutsold just gets the wrong end of the deal there as Carr and Wilson both manage to sneak past at the Stratford corner. And then Matthew Graham makes his move at a third position. Take a look at this. Absolutely textbook on the inside of Shay Pearce. Beautiful positioning. He's got him nicely nailed on the inside, and he's got the drive off the corner. Thank you very much indeed. Into third position, but it doesn't last long because Shay Pearce and Dino Lee both managed to take advantage of him at the Stratford hairpin in simultaneous action. And so now Matthew Graham once again has his work cut out. Further into the race, and here comes Shay Pearce, makes his move to second place, and Addison Chilcott gets hung out to dry because Dino Lee says, right, we've got a gap, let's go for it, and through into third position he goes too. Alex Forward holding on to that lead at the front, but Cameron Fisher makes his move back into the fight up to fifth position. And then Dino Lee, we've been talking about him all season long as a potential British champion, and now he's looking like he could be in the hot seat for a shot at the Oblate too, up to second place. Chilcott following him through on the exit of the hairpin, and then Cameron Fisher again into fourth. Pearce back to fifth position, and some good moving down in the lower positions as well as Thomas Broadley makes his move on Graham. Oh, sorry, on the inside of Mills. Graham gets by as well, so he's making his way back through the field nicely too. And we're on to the last lap here, and look at the jostle, the spread for the victory. Everybody going for it here, and it's very close indeed. Forward from Lee, and in third position, I think that must be Fisher in the 21. No, sorry, it's Chilcott, who is back into third place. Forward defending, Chilcott on the inside of Dino Lee.
Dino Lee's hung himself out to dry around the outside there. That's he's just lost the race effectively. He's not going to win from there now.
Oh, Dino Lee now struggling to hold on to the final podium position as everybody jostling through the Bruno Ferrari chicane. Forward has the lead, and Chilcott knows he's got a chance to pounce here, but he's got to come from a long way back. I don't see it happening. Dino Lee going round the outside of Wilkins, desperately trying to get on the podium, and he's lost it. Through goes Shay Pearce in the number 10, and it's a win for Forward. Chilcott there in second place. Shay Pearce comes home in third position in the number 10. Dino Lee, so close and yet so far, but the top 6 covered by less than a second, with Cameron Fisher in 5th and Matthew Taylor in 6th. Once again, Junior TKM giving us a huge catalogue of highlights to talk about. And Alex Forward was so happy, he nearly cracked a smile. Well, the Helicam ready to go to work then for the Senior TKM Extreme Oblate. Matt Davies on the front row of the grid with Chris Rennick, Scott Jeffs and Joe Forsdyke, the reigning Oblate holder on P4. James Ogden and Tom Owen from Jason Wilson and Josh Waring. Keep an eye on Simon Verco in 11th position alongside Robert Wallace, with Horton and Patterson on the rear row of the grid. Away we go and into the first couple of corners. It's a brilliant textbook start then from Chris Rennick as he holds the lead at the first part of the lap. Once again, out of Pitts Bend, down the Stratford Straight, and into the Stratford hairpin. Couple of jostling for position there. Everybody through cleanly once again, and this is the point in the lap when everybody really starts to attack. You've got through the first couple of corners, and already the pressure is getting to Chris Rennick. A huge slide through the Bruno Ferrari chicane. So through to Hanger Corner and up to Wilkins. Davies really putting pressure on the leader here. Tiny bit of a nudge, but nothing brutal. Scott Jeffs in third position in the 19, ready to pounce. And we've got a massive queue after the first lap as everybody sizes up the opportunity to go for the lead.
Spoke to Clerk of the Course recently about the different dynamic in clerking this event. I spoke earlier very briefly about the history of the British Open. As we see, Davis having a look up the inside, but nothing more at this stage. Rennick holds on. Here's the highlights. Lead change, 2013 British champion Matt Davis into the lead through Stratford hairpin. These karts obviously doing the going to the first hairpin, not the full circuit like the gearbox karts do. Here's the lead change back as Rennick fights back into the lead. The 33 kart takes over at the front of the field once more. Come out of Cafe Corner left-handed, back up to the Stratford hairpin. Tom Owen, the British Championship leader, in a late braking move. He makes a upper place. He's through to fifth place there. Another highlight. Lead change for Scott Jeffs. Gets the switch back for the lead out of Stratford hairpin. Does he hold on?
Very nearly,
like he does.
Very nearly 3 wide through there, but Jeff's just hanging on the entrance to the Bruno Ferrari chicane. Very nicely handled, and that could have been a multiple kart pile up there. Rennick making his move, don't defend, and just keeping Scott Jeffs back in the 19. He will not get through there, and Jeffs already looking like he's getting frustrated. Sat behind Rennick in second place. Here we go again. Rennick defending at this early stage in the race, you can see. Rennick definitely trying to hold on to his advantage, and this is how, a little bit further back, Alexander Patterson made his move into 11th place. Keep an eye on the back part of the lap. Look at that. Lovely textbook move, and he sized that one up nicely. Nice late move there. Matt Davis through into second place through turn one. I was speaking earlier about the different dynamic between Clark in a British Championship Series event and this one weekend British Open Championship. It's pretty much a win or bust event. Again, another lead changes. Davis hits the front through Wilkins. That just proves the point, doesn't it? It is win or bust with these drivers. The Clarks of the course have really got to keep their eyes firmly peeled on the action. A little bit of a run wide there. Yeah, watch this. Round the outside, Rennick comes for the lead and holds on to it. Very nice aggressive move there from the 33 of Rennick. He makes it stick right round the outside, and some brilliant overtaking as Tom Owen gets the fastest lap of the race at that point. But how about this? This is when the drama really struck. Davies and Rennick collide. Rennick tries to get back in the fight again, and there's a little bit of jostling, and it just gets a little bit too close for comfort. Rennick and Waring off in the bank at the final corner of the lap, and the race moves into the final lap without Josh Waring and the long-time leader, Chris Rennick. What drama here at Shenington. That really couldn't have ended any more sloppily if it tried. Let's have another look at this replay. This is a classic British Open Championship move. It's win or bust. Now the question here is, can Rennick see Davis at that point? Would you expect him to see him? Well, he squeezes Davis anyway. I'm not sure he did. It all goes pear-shaped, and Davis it is that holds on through there, and more contact as Jeffs gets run into there by Waring, and then Waring and Rennick have nowhere to go just as we come across the finish line. It's going to be the 28 of Matt Davies who holds off the pair of Ogden and Jeffs, but post-race he gets 2 separate exclusions. The first one, exclusion for that incident, and the second one for he actually appealed that and won it. But he then was further excluded for removing the kart from Parc Ferme. So, absolute disaster there for Matt Davis. Excluded for that incident, reinstated, and then excluded because the kart was removed from Parc Ferme, which you can't do. Disaster for Davis. British Open title in his pocket after the appeal, and lost it all. Well, you've just seen the grid for the TKM Clubman race, which is up next. It's Kieran McDonald and Andre Moreau who get a good start into the first corner, but out in front It is Kieran MacDonald who holds the lead from the hard-charging Luke Ogden in the 52, who charges up to second place. Moreau probably wondering what on earth happened at the first corner, and he hasn't really got time to deal with it. He's just got to get on with things through the hairpin. Oh, there's contact, and oh, that's Manuel Poncho in the 59. He's lost it in the hairpin. He's going to have to try and get things going again. There he goes, push starting it. Here we go with the highlight reel as Ogden hits the front. And there's a great battle for the front of this race as Moreau makes his way through to second place and Lakin gets up into third position round the outside. And if you look a little bit further back, you can see how Morby made his move. He started P20 in this race, now all the way up to 13th position, doing a great job in the early stages of this one. Further into the race, it's all over for Tom Davies. His race is over. And this is how Jack McCauley in the 37 made his move to second place. But dramatically, it wouldn't be long before he moved down the order. Moreau makes his move at the hairpin. And poor McCauley gets hung out to dry, down to 5th position, losing 3 places in a heartbeat. More problems for McCauley, out of contention at the Bruno Ferrari chicane. And he's got to fall all the way to the back. He eventually makes it back on track. But that's his chances of victory over. Moving through the field, Colin Morris manages to make the move on McDonald. And look at Carl Morby continuing to move up places. Gets a great little move there. There's a bit of a jostle for position 2 for Mark Waring as he made another place. McDonald and Morris go together at the first corner. Absolute disaster. Straight in at turn 1. And, well, I don't think they'll be talking to each other on the way home, will they? Manuel Poncho, more problems. Desperately trying to restart. You've got to give him an award for effort. As up the inside, Jade Shepherd makes her move for second position on Andre Moreau, and the fastest lap of the race as well. There's a name we'll be talking about in the future, Jade Shepherd. So Longfield continues to battle as he makes his move for Moreau. Third position, a very intense battle at this early stage, but Luke Ogden takes the victory in the end of it. A fantastic performance in front of the hard-charging female, Jade Shepherd in second place. Longfield just pipping Carl Morby for an impressive 4th place, ahead of Andre Moreau and William Lakin of Oxford in 6th position. Brilliant race, and Ogden, Shepherd and Longfield are a very happy trio.